We are now only a couple of weeks away from Apple's massive September event where they'll finally launch the iPhone 15 lineup, and in this video, I have 10 new leak updates to share with you guys that I've collected since the last version of this video, so let's jump right into leak update number 1. According to Unknowns21, who was the first leaker to share an actual photo of the bottom of the iPhone 15 Pro and its USB-C port, he has now given us a huge leak showing the iPhone 15 colors that were tested through various development stages. We have a new pink, which could end up being a rose gold or a blush gold. We have green, blue, yellow, potentially some form of orange, and a black or midnight color. And he does mention that there could be, of course, potentially more colors, but these are the ones that he has seen. Now, getting into leak update number 2, we have a major leak that has been blowing up all over Twitter and the tech world. Various sources, including Majin Buu, Kasutami-san, and Lipilipsy, have been showing tons of photos and videos of brand new, never before seen, color-matched braided USB-C to USB-C cables, which are supposedly going to be coming in the box of every iPhone 15 model. We can see various colors that totally look like they could match the new iPhone 15 colors, including a fully blacked out cable that even includes black USB-C connectors on the ends. Offering color matched cables could create a new trend where people get excited about USB-C, and I can totally see Android phone makers following in Apple's footsteps with these color matched cables. And to make it even better, we got reports that these new cables could be even longer, 1.5 meters instead of 1 on the current cables, which everybody is gonna appreciate. On top of that, I've personally found that the new braided cables from Apple are so much more reliable and durable than the old ones that would fray and get ripped up and damaged, especially since these new braided cables are unlike the ones that come with the iPad Pro and iMac, by adding a new strain relief layer to help durability, so I'm honestly super excited for these. Now on to leak number 3, we have something that nobody is gonna argue against, and that's a rumor pointing to at least some new iPhone 15 models supporting faster charging. Yes, apparently the charging speed will be going up to 35 watts of maximum charging compared to 27, which the current 14 Pro Max can accept. Now that doesn't seem like a huge deal, but it's actually 30% more wattage. Now I do want to stress that just because it says it can hit 35 watts doesn't mean it'll charge at that rate the entire time, because it's normal for batteries to charge quickly at the very beginning with a very empty battery, and then as they get hot and full, the rate does slow down, which is very common for Apple because they care about charging and battery health. And yes, I will admit that the 14 lineup does have some battery health issues, so hopefully Apple solves that with the iPhone 15 lineup. Now moving on to leak update number 4, we just got perhaps the weirdest update ever. We just got a new leak from 9to5Mac sources claiming that Apple will no longer be selling leather cases for the iPhone 15 lineup, which sounds crazy because they've been selling them for many years, and it's a staple of Apple's premium accessories that they sell because it comes with the indented Apple logo on the back, which is something that other case makers legally can't do. Now this new leak is really weird because we recently saw a bunch of leaks of leather Apple cases coming for the iPhone 15 lineup. However, Shrimp Apple Pro did say that he's hearing the same thing, that there will be no leather cases, and same with Dan Rue on Twitter. Now my personal guess is that Apple will for the first time be creating a vegan or synthetic leather case that's more eco-friendly, which would also increase Apple's profit margins, so it makes total sense. Now with that said, I don't think that Apple's gonna be completely cutting leather cases from their offerings because people just love them so much. It's just technically not gonna be leather anymore, it's gonna be fake. Now before I get into leak update number 5, I've got to show you today's sponsor, which is G's Cable, which is a revolutionary patented cable that stops hackers in their tracks by including a button that will physically turn off all data transfer capabilities so that when you charge your phone in public, it'll be unhackable. And then when you need to transfer data, just hit the button again and you're good to go. It comes with a choice of Lightning and USB-C to fit any device, so order yours today by using the link in the description below to keep your data private. For update number 5, we are getting more and more rumors of price increases on the iPhone 15 lineup, but don't worry, they're only for the Pro models. Just the other day, on August 22nd, Digitimes came out and said that Apple's Pro and Pro Max iPhone 15 models will go up in price by between $100 and $200 US, which is a big deal. This of course adds to previous reports like back in July when Barclays analyst Tim Long said that the 15 Pro could start at $1099 and the Pro Max could start at $1199 or even $1299. And yes, even Bloomberg reported that Apple is considering raising the price. So now, with all of these reports, I think that we can say for sure that the 15 Pro models are going to get more expensive with no doubts at all. Moving on to update number 6, we could have a potential explanation for this $200 price jump on the 15 Pro Max model, and that came recently from Apple insiders Andrew O'Hara, who says he's heard from multiple sources that Apple will be rebranding the Pro Max model into the Ultra model to try and differentiate them and potentially start giving more features to the Ultra like the periscope zoom lens and more. This idea was originally mentioned by Mark Gurman last year, but then he came out and said that Apple's gonna delay the Ultra branding until the iPhone 16 lineup, but who knows, maybe Andrew is right. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And in my mind, I think this switch totally makes sense because currently the Pro Max name is kind of dumb and confusing, especially since we have the M2 Pro and M2 Max chips over on the Max side, so combining both of those names is just kind of weird. Now for leak number 7, I'm sure you've heard all about the action button coming to the 15 Pro models, and I think with this new report, we can finally confirm it for good. 9to5Mac has been digging in the iOS 7 Beta 7 update, and they found completely new haptic feedback patterns that are meant for when the user enables or disables silent mode, which is something that wasn't there before. That's because in previous versions of iOS, there was only a quick haptic feedback setting for when the iPhone goes into silent mode, but never for when silent mode is disabled, which is proof that we should get a new action button. This actually adds to previous findings from Mac rumors within beta code showing multiple options for what can be assigned to an action button click. So with that said, we can now all 100% expect the action button to be real and come to the 15 Pro models. Now for leak update number 8, I've got to go back to that color matched braided USB-C cable leak. Basic Apple guy on Twitter just showed off renders of color-matched AirPods, which is a great idea since it would lead to a huge boost in AirPods sales. So if Apple was ever gonna sell AirPods with different colors, the time to do so would be right now, and I have 3 great reasons for why. For number 1, Apple is already working on USB-C AirPods cases to coincide with the switch to USB-C on the iPhone 15 lineup, and yes, we have leaked codes and models for that and everything else, so this will happen 100%. On top of that, we also have rumors of the color matched braided cables, so it would be the perfect opportunity to market color matching your iPhone with the cable and the AirPods as the next new trend. Now, Apple is already selling their 24-inch iMac with the color matched braided lightning cable, color matched keyboard, and color matched Magic Mouse, and they're doing so with success and no production issues. So that could have been a test run for color matched iPhone cables and potentially even AirPods. And for the final reason, which is the biggest one, we actually had real leaks of Apple testing color matched AirPods cases in the past. So what if they were testing those in preparation for the iPhone 15 launch? Now you should still take this with a grain of salt, but it's definitely a possibility. Now on to number 9, we had a huge leak of the iPhone 15's USB-C Flex cables and components that show that we could be seeing Thunderbolt data transfer speeds on at least one of the new 15 models, according to Charger Lab, who was able to see an integrated circuit that's commonly known to support Thunderbolt speeds. That right there is a huge deal because that would make the iPhone 15 Pro models the first mainstream smartphones to support Thunderbolt and its 40 gigabit per second transfer speeds, which is massive and would definitely help sell more Pro models. And finally, for leak update number 10, we just got confirmation from TechRev on Twitter that the iPhone 15 Pro models will be getting multiple chip upgrades to improve efficiency, ultimately leading to better battery life. He confirmed that the DDI chip, or the display driver integrated chip, will now be built on 28 nanometer node technology compared to the previous 40 nanometer. So while the display panel is going to be the same on the new iPhone 15s, it should use less power. On top of that, he also confirmed that we're getting a next generation U2 ultra wideband chip built on 7 nanometer tech instead of 16. So once again, more efficient. And he also confirmed Wi-Fi 6E is coming to the 15 Pro. And finally, a massive upgrade to 15-watt wireless charging with third-party chargers with the new Qi 2 standard. And yes, Shrimp Apple Pro even replied and said he confirms all of those points. So there you guys go. Those were 10 new leak updates for the iPhone 15 lineup. So if you're So there you guys go. So there you guys go. Those were 10 new leak updates for the iPhone 15 lineup. So if you're as excited as I am, subscribe above and check out one of those 2 videos right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.